Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We're so glad to have all you Rotarians and guests with us today. It is a pleasure. We are the Rotary Club of Gainesville, and guests and visiting Rotarians, if you're with us virtually on Zoom, we'd ask that you please identify yourself in the chat. And if you're watching on YouTube, please register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. Pete Inwall, are you ready?
Christmas, we wish. Okay, so people have been sending me Lego pieces. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, well let me try this. There we go. People have been sending me Lego pieces in the mail, and for a couple of weeks now, and I just don't know what to make of them. You have to think about that. Think about it. Naomi. Okay, so now this is the first Tuesday in December. And traditionally, Charlie Page would lead us in Jingle Bells. And Brent Williams would chime in with the like a light bulb stuff. So Naomi has graciously consented to take Brent's place. So come on up here, Naomi. So now I noticed that we don't have any glasses and we don't have any silverware. So would you knock on the table? All right, everybody ready? Jingle the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, so now that's my bad. Now we're going to do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Ready? We got to wait for Gordon to get the music. Ready, Gordon? Rudolph. You know how quickly we forget these things. Tradition is very important, and so I'm sorry that Charlie's not with us. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose,
Like a light bulb.
and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glowed. All of the other reindeer used to have to call him names.
Like Pinocchio.
He never could. Poor Rudolph, joining any reindeer game. Like Monopoly. And one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Naomi. I don't know if it's planned. I got here late. I'm sorry. Today is the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. I would ask that we have a quick moment of silence in memory of the 2,500 sailors and seamen that lost their lives 80 years ago today. Would you join me in pledging allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pete. And we have Ian Fletcher with us this afternoon on Zoom for our invocation. Ian?
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us pray. To the great Almighty One who taught us to love, give, honor, lift up, and be a blessing to others. I pray that we are all spiritually well, that we're healthy. Our faith reflects in what we do for others. During the holiday season and throughout the pandemic, there is grief, depression, anxiety, and even those considering giving up on life. I pray God's strength and uplift their spirit and awaken them to the reason for living, seeking help, and not giving up on themselves. We were created to help those in need and to intercede for all people. Lord, thank you for the season. Thank you for your love, for your blessings. I pray that you will continue to heal the sick and restore the brokenhearted. We thank you for your comforter. Amen.
Thank you very much. You may be seated, but please, if you have any guests, if you want to go ahead and remain standing, and Don will bring the mic around to introduce any guests that we have. Okay. Oh, we do. We'll come acknowledge you.
Billy Adkins, community hospice, visiting Rotarian from Lake City, and I should probably transfer to Gainesville because I live and work here.
Oh, great. Welcome, Billy. Okay. Any others? Okay. So the first of every month, we always acknowledge and recognize Rotarians with birthdays. We have a cake in the back if you haven't already discovered it, in addition to Marcia's grandchildren's wonderful chocolate chip cookies. So please make sure you get to have dessert today. I'm going to read out the Rotarians with birthdays, and you probably remember we have a tradition of paying up. So it's $1 if it's your birthday. Okay. So we have Lewis Brown, Steve Elder, Jake Finn, John Cousins, Ian Fletcher, John Buckner, Terry Van Nortwick, John Holloway, which is Wilbur actually, Kent Walker, Steve Price, Dick Cameron, Courtney Bechet, Keith Baucom, Jim Craig, Phil Ankrum, Naomi Williams. Naomi, we'll pay your $1 for all your hard work. Just happy birthday. I'll put your $1 in. Yvette Carter, Anne Marie Rogers, and Scott Winsler. And Pete, and oh, come on up. Did I? Great. Pete, can you come back up? I'm not sure where you are. Whenever we're going to let you eat. Okay. Happy birthday to Brendan as well. Okay, Wilbur, thank you. You got something.
I turned 60 on Friday. We're having to get together at Blackadder. Come buy me a beer.
Wilbur, you don't look a day over 59 to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, fellow Rotarians. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Thanks so much, Pete. Don't know what we do without you. When I signed up for this job, I told David I cannot sing. He said, okay, no problem, Mel. Okay, so we're gonna have some announcements. Jay, would you mind coming up and bringing us up to speed on the Wild Game Feast?
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. March 3rd is around the corner. It seems like it's a long ways away, but we know time rolls on, and so it'll be here soon. That is the official date of the Wild Game Feast. First of all, I want to thank everybody that has showed up and sponsored so far. We had a tremendous turnout related to sponsorship so far, so appreciate that. And again, want to remind everybody in here that anybody that is interested in sponsoring, please get with Jason Shank. He couldn't be here today, but he wanted to make sure that I did a shout out for anybody that's interested in sponsoring. And also the ticket sales. The tickets are being printed, and as soon as they're ready, they're going to be coming out. And so all of you in here, as Jason has mentioned, are important in making this event a success. That means anybody that you may know, associates, colleagues, friends, anybody that's interested in sponsoring or attending the event, you know, please get them involved. And then also, if any of you that have not signed up and are interested in volunteering for the day of the event, please see me, and we'll get you put to work. And appreciate everybody's attention. Have a great holiday. See you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jay. TJ, you want to come up and talk about Catholic Charities, tour of fairgrounds, and anything else that you've got?
Hi, everybody. First, I would like to thank Helen Warren for assisting us in getting the Afghan refugees to Jacksonville yesterday. Helen and I met at 6:30 yesterday morning, and it only took us until 7:45 to put the car seats in our cars and actually get on the road. Beyond that, tomorrow at 9:30 at the Catholic Charities Service Center, we will be packing backpacks like we do every month. Right now, we only have one person signed up. So if you have time, about an hour to go over there, we would love to see you. And then on Saturday morning, also at 9:30, we're going to be touring the new fairgrounds in Newberry. So if you're interested, you have the email. So please sign up, and we'll see you at 9:30 on Saturday. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, TJ. And next we're going to hear from Lisa Mueller, and she's going to talk about Bread of the Mighty Food Bank.
All right, so everybody, I know on your table, you'll see a little flyer. It's going to say about Bread of the Mighty. We're going to start taking donations, either canned goods, items, or monetary. And we're going to do this right through January to the middle of January, at least for the food items, because after the holidays, the food bank is in desperate need to refill their stock. So just so you have an idea what your donations mean, for every $1 that you donate, the food bank is able to make that 8 meals for people in need. In addition, for every $1 you donate, 96 cents go right back out into this community. We have over 5 counties. We have the 5 counties that we work through for Bread in the Mighty Food Bank. And just to give you a rough estimate, last year, 16.4 million pounds of food went through the food bank back out into those 5 counties. So we have a need, and we really, truly appreciate for you guys doing this food drive for us. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much, Lisa. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to our president, President David Gracie.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's great to see everyone today here live in person and on Zoom. I'd like to just begin by, in case you missed it, last Tuesday, the International Auction Committee delivered a fantastic auction. I've seen a few of these over the years, and last week was just great. There's some folks I want to be sure to carefully thank, but I want to just, in case you missed it, folks, we just had it was not only productive, but it was just so energetic. It was a lot of fun. We had, thanks to participation from everyone, we had a lot of bidding going on the silent auction items. We had a lot of bidding going on during the live auction. Live auctioneer Ben Campbell and his nephew Brad did a great job. That was just so much fun. I think I like the way Richard described the scene in an email last week, kind of thanking some folks. He called it joyous, and that's really what it was. It was joyous, but it was also productive. We raised, let me get this number, $23,125. So thank you, everyone, for that. And I want to point out that that amount is going to be doubled by the Maytree Foundation. So effectively, during this auction last Tuesday, we raised $46,250. Folks, that's all going to Sustainable Cambodia. That's a wonderful organization that's dear to a lot of us. I want to mention the individual auction committee items who really just worked tirelessly. I saw folks for weeks, hitting these retailers, asking for items, coming in here early on Tuesday to set up the beautiful room we had. Helen Kornblum, thank you so much for everything you did. Deborah Newell also Deborah was key. Barbara Anderson. Marie Collins, thank you. Mike and Cheryl Conroy. Bobby Hall, thank you. Also Sarah Owen and Tony Salzman, Pat Thomas, and Helen Warren. I saw it, there's Helen. Also want to carefully thank the individuals who donated live auction items. There were quite a few of those, but I want to name the Rotarians who did so. Pat Thomas, thank you, Pat. I don't believe she's here, but also Bobby Hall. A wonderful evening there at your home I'm looking forward to. Ed Ellett, a fishing tournament coming up, or excuse me, a fishing excursion. And John Thomas, the fish fry. So thank you all for donating those live auction items. And again, folks, just remember, this is $46,250 that's going to a place where the American dollar goes a long way. So this was an impactful event, and I just thank everyone for participating. So thank you. And last week was actually, it was a fun, busy Rotary week. If you guys may recall, we had another highly anticipated event out at the Rotary conservation area at Hatchet Creek, that beautiful rugged setting that we get to enjoy on occasion. And man, I'm telling you, the food was delectable. The weather was beautiful. It was nice and cool, a little bit beyond cool. I'd even call it just barely cold for North Florida, but it was just beautiful, clear night. And the best part about it, though, was the folks who were there, the fellowship that we got to enjoy. And, I've said it so many times up here. This is a service organization for sure. That's what brings us together. But it's almost like the fellowship piece. It's more than just the dessert that we get to enjoy. It's really fundamental to what makes Rotary so special. So thanks everyone, the 75-ish folks that attended, and thanks everyone who did so much to make the event great. Dwight McKee was out there, I think at like 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. And man, he had everything set up with poinsettias on the table. It just looked like it was more than just a bunch of guys out there. It certainly wasn't that. Greg Young, thank you for everything you did and do out at Hatchet Creek all the time to help us enjoy that place. Helen and Tom Gilstrom, awesome job bartending and gathering the wine and beer that we got to enjoy. Jason Shank, another one of those guys that just makes Hatchet Creek continue to be the great place that it is. Matthew Brady also in that same regard, thank you. Linda Reinhardt, thank you for all the work that you did to make sure we had just the right amount of wine and beer and coordinating that delivery. And finally, Wes, thank you for everything that you've done for 40 years to make Hatchet Creek a wonderful place. And just, guys, I just can't tell you enough. The auction was wonderful. It was just great to be together in here doing that. And the fellowship out at Hatchet Creek was also wonderful. If you attended, you know what I mean. It was just great being out there together. And I just think that fellowship aspect of this club is something we need to continue to hold so dear. So thanks for giving me a few minutes to tell you guys about those things. And I'm going to now thank Susan Crowley for all that she's done to bring us excellent programs many times so far this year. And today we've got a great program. I'm going to ask Susan to please come up and introduce our speaker.
Thank you. I'm happy today to introduce our speaker, Andrew Campbell, who is the Director of Professional and Workforce Development at the University of Florida. Andy graduated from the University of South Carolina in 1987 and received a commission in the United States Navy. He served on active and reserve duty for 27 years and retired as a captain. Andy received his master's degree in Homeland Security from American Military University in 2012. He has worked at the University of Florida for 21 years in various roles, involving conferences and professional education. He currently serves as a director for the Office of Professional Workforce Development, where he oversees 5 units and more than 20 personnel. He will talk to us today about the programming his office offers for personal development and for employment training. Andy.
So I told Susan that I'd be willing to do anything except sing. And the very first thing we have to do is sing. I guess I'm glad it wasn't a solo act. So where's the PowerPoint? If you don't mind, I'm going to hold this. All right. So I could click on all of these links, but I may just let them go ahead and send this out to you so you can click on the links. But we are the Office of Professional Workforce Development. I don't think I can click on that link, can I? Or can you? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, my unit was formed in 2019. We used to belong to distance and continuing education at the University of Florida. And in 2019, after 2 governors started talking about workforce development, my boss, who's Dr. Andrew McCullough, said, okay, we need to figure out what the University of Florida is going to do in workforce development. So he gave me 5 units that had already existed, put them all together under one hat and said, okay, let's go do something in workforce development. So who we are, as I said, we support Dr. McCullough, and he is the Associate Provost for the Office of Teaching and Technology at the University of Florida. Can you advance that slide? So we are housed out at the Training, Research, and Education for Environmental Occupations, the TRIO Center. Everybody familiar where Kanapa Park is, Veterans Park, where they do the Veterans Day stuff. So we are around the corner, over behind there, across from GRU. Next slide, please. We believe that we are like the little hidden gem of the University of Florida. There's no parking, transportation people here, right? So we don't pay for parking out there. I'd like for that to stay in-house. We're friends here, I assume, so safe environment. But we don't pay for parking out there. We have a different clientele than what the normal UF student is. We have waterfalls and just like a little moat that goes around. We have alligators on occasion and koi fish. So it's a very nice place to work. Next slide, please. So our mission, to design and deliver innovative learning opportunities for everyone. And, as with COVID, you can tell everybody was trying to be innovative in how they were offering learning opportunities. And the vision, to create an enduring legacy of excellence through professional workforce educational opportunities. And so some of the projects that I'm going to talk to you about go right into that vision. Next slide, please. So I have 5 departments. The first department is Career and Workforce Development Education. This is a partnership that we have with Florida Gateway College. I'll go into that one here in just a couple of minutes when we get to the projects. The second department I have is Community Engagement and Custom Training Solutions. And in this one, we go out and work in the community. We're part of a workforce development committee here in Gainesville, but we also work with different corporations to do training based on their needs. So we will come and sit down with the client, figure out what their needs are, and then provide the right contractor or instructor to come in and deliver the education, the training. I have a fully functioning conference department, 4 event planners, 2 certified meeting professionals. We go wherever the university wants us to go. We'll have clients that'll come in and say, okay, we're doing this conference in the Philippines. We'll go to the Philippines, Taiwan, Europe, mostly stay in Florida, but we have had a few of those that we've been able to go to. An online professional development hub. So this is a hub where all of the non-credit online programs for the university resides. So if you're looking to take anything out of, engineering or business, or you can come to this hub and you can search for the course that you want to take, non-credit, and then you can enroll. And then of course the TRIO Center, which does environmental occupation training. So it was established to do water and wastewater training. That's our bread and butter over there. And we do also asbestos, backflow, solid and hazardous waste. And we're getting ready to start teaching some OSHA courses. Next slide, please. So the projects. We have quite a few projects. The first one is the AI initiative. This is a University of Florida-wide initiative. They've created a lot of courses for undergraduate degree-seeking students, but they said, what are we doing for the working professional? And so they worked out with different colleges and developed 21 courses. There's a 1-hour course that's free, a 4-hour course, which is $249, and then 15-hour short courses, which are $10.95 a piece. That if you take the right sequence of ethics, fundamentals, and then one of the focused areas, you can receive a micro-credential. The culinary program. You'll see flyers on your table for the culinary program. This one is one that we've been working on for probably about 4 years. First, we had to find somebody at the university who would sit there and take a look at the content and say, yeah, this is great content. You can go ahead and offer this. Because I'm sure, as you know, we get inundated with all kinds of companies that say, hey, we have this great product. We want to sell it to you. And they want to use the UF brand. In this case, we got a university faculty member to review the content. They said it was really good. We got in business with these folks. We were ready to launch the first culinary course in Orlando, and then COVID hit. So then we said, okay, we'll postpone it. We'll launch it again, this past spring. And we still had the effects from COVID, and we couldn't get it off the ground. So we decided to move it to Gainesville, and we are going to have it over at Working Food, the kitchen. We have worked with CareerSource here in town, and they are providing scholarship money to the tune of $75,000. So that would bring 10 people into the course. The key piece here is that the individuals have to qualify for WIOA. So they have to go through CareerSource. They meet the criteria, and then they will pay the full freight for them to go ahead and take the course and become a culinary specialist. We have a celebrity chef, Chef Amadeus. You may have seen him on the Food Channel, the Food Network. He won one of the competitions on there, but he is our chef. He lives in Jacksonville, but he's going to come down here for the next 16 weeks starting in January. So we have about 4 people that have signed up for this course. The max that we can take at one time is about 10, but part of the program is externships, where we put them in places where they can, it's almost like an apprenticeship type thing, where they go into a company. If the company likes them, then they go ahead and hire them. So this one is one where we would also purchase food locally. So it's really a community effort, Working Food, University of Florida, to try and make this happen, especially since the hospitality industry has been hit so hard. The dual enrollment partnership. This is an interesting one. At the University of Florida, for their dual enrollment program, you have to have, high SAT, high ACT, unweighted GPA of a 3.6 to get into the program. And we were sitting there and we said, well, we have these water and wastewater programs, vocational, career and technical type programs. How can we get these into the high school? And so we took a step back and we said, well, what if we offered them as part of a dual enrollment program? And we called up to the Department of Education. We worked through all the details. They said, great, you can't do it as part of the University of Florida because, one, the University of Florida won't count it as 4 credit. So we decided to be innovative. we went up to Florida Gateway College up in Lake City, and we said, you offer degree programs in water and wastewater management. How about if we plug your dual enrollment program and stick students in there? You use our instructors and our curriculum. And they said, hey, that sounds great. We'll go ahead and articulate those over so it counts as 4 credit. And so now we have a dual enrollment program, which is really in a partnership with Florida Gateway College. And we had one of our first students completed both water and wastewater courses last spring and is now sitting for his license. So we're excited about that. Essential skills for workforce success. A lot of people call them soft skills. We call them essential skills. These are free. So if you want to go onto the website and have employees or anybody else take them, please do so. This is time management, conflict resolution, all of those kind of soft skills that employers want their employees to have. Because you can get somebody a job, but if the first time there's a conflict, they blow up and walk out or get in a fight, then you don't retain them. So this is part of the retention process. The Greater Gators program. So during COVID, Coursera, has anybody heard of Coursera? Coursera is the massive open online courses. They have about 6,000 courses from across the world of different universities that produce this content and put it in. And they came to us during COVID and said, hey, we'll give it access to you for free. And you can give it away for free. And we said, hey, that's great. Well, that was the hook, right? So then they came back later toward the end, in the summer and said, by the way, why don't you purchase some seats so then you can sell these courses? And we said, okay, we'll give that a shot. So we did some market research and we looked on and found about 9 courses that we hoped and thought would be good for the community. So you can get a Google IT support certification, an Amazon Web Service certification, in a finite period of time. And it doesn't cost, a ton of money. And these are available through our Greater Gator program. So we are in a partnership with Coursera to do that. So a lot of the things that my office currently does is about partnerships. How can we work with other organizations to bring quality education to the workforce? The Inspiring Women Leaders Conference. This is our 5th year in doing the Inspiring Women Leaders Conference. It got started when I talked to my staff and I said, we need to do something in the community. And so one of my staff came back to me and she said, we need to do something for women in leadership. And I said, okay, great. So she started to do workshops. And then we said, all right, these have been successful, so let's go ahead and do a conference. So the first year we ran the conference, we had 150 attendees. The second year we ran the conference, we had 250. The third year we ran the conference, it was over 300. COVID, and we still had over 200 all virtual. So this is our 5th year. We're excited to do it. We do it on International Women's Day, those 2 days. And if you're interested in being a sponsor or even attending or sending your employees, please visit this website and you'll be able to do all of that. The Micro Gator credentials and badges. How many of you have heard of micro credentials? Not big. It's making its circulation around the different universities. So micro credentials are focused training to achieve an industry recognized certification or training. And so universities are packaging 2 and 3 different courses, putting them together so that when the individual's through with it, they can take it and put it on their digital resume in their social media. And then when they go and do job interviews, the people at the company can go in and they can take a look on their badge or their certificate and see what kind of rigor they had to go through in order to earn that credential. So University of Florida, this one is actually not launched yet. It's going through the review process, but once it does, there will be at least 3 to 4 micro-credentials that'll be offered to start. One of the things that's not highlighted, these two we're really excited about. Being an environmental occupation training center, we said, well, why don't we do any OSHA, OSHA specific training? Well, you can't. If you're not an OSHA Training Institute Education Center, you can't claim that. So we said, all right, well, in 2022, when we're eligible to apply for it, let's go and apply and become one. And then we looked at all the paperwork and all of the competition. And we said, well, maybe that's too much. Maybe we don't have the experience necessary to go in and do that. So we looked at partnerships again, and we found a partner in Tennessee. And so we have a proposal in that's being reviewed right now. And if we become an OSHA Training Center host site, we'll be able to offer OSHA courses in partnership with this other organization. And then eventually we can become a consortium partner. And then if we want to, we can reach out and do it all on our own. But this opens a lot of doors for people that need to be trained, and specifically in OSHA courses. And then the safety yard. The safety yard was originally coming through the Rinker School. It is coming through the Rinker School, donated by Kiewit Construction. And they were going to put it out at Santa Fe because they didn't have room on the UF campus. And I was on a phone call when they were talking about it, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. We have room out at the Trio Center. And they said, really? And I said, yeah. So they came out and they took a look, and they said, sure enough, you do have room. So they've already delivered the safety yard. Now we're doing site prep. So it should be up and running in the spring, hopefully by February. But here we'll be able to offer additional safety and OSHA courses like excavating and trenching, fall prevention, electrical safety, all of those kinds of things. So if you're in the construction industry, if you're in the manufacturing industry, the University of Florida is going to be offering OSHA type courses here in the near future. And since I didn't have a link to the safety yard, I have a couple of pictures. So this is what the outside would look like, and the next slide is what's inside. And this is us for Gator Giving Day. We did the stand up and holler. We take cash, credit card, or any kind of other donation. So that's coming up in February, right? All right, February, January or February. Anyway, that's all I have. Yes, ma'am.
With the dual enrollment, I'm thinking of individuals that I know that aren't out of high school yet, but then also individuals who have gotten out of high school but haven't been able to get into Santa Fe College. Do you have something for high school graduates to get them into some of these courses directly?
Yes, if you're out of high school already, you can just take the water, wastewater courses, and then you can sit for the licensing exam. The great thing about this dual enrollment program, even though it's a partnership with Florida Gateway, is it still gives the student a triple benefit. They get high school credit, college credit, and they're eligible to sit for a license soon afterwards. So now those that either can't afford to go to college or don't want to go to college can go right into a career type job. So, and we have 12, I think, of the 67 districts who've articulated. So part of our goal in the next couple of years is to continue to try and get additional counties to come on. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good presentation. I went to UF, so I didn't know that you guys do. Oh, 5 years ago. So I'm a little bit out of the loop now, but great presentation. I just have a quick question. Do you also partner with nonprofit, or is it just the corporate? And also the essential skills, is that also corporate, or could you look into like a volunteer retention and those challenges? Thank you.
So the answer to the essential skills is that it's available to anyone. You find the website, you can go on and you can just register for those courses. There's no fee for that. So that's take anytime, anywhere. And the other question about partnering with nonprofit, we will take a look at all possibilities. But it has to be a good fit, and of course you have to go back and make sure it's in compliance with the University of Florida. So before I can say yes, I'm ready to partner with any nonprofit, I would actually have to take a look at and see if it's the right fit. Yes, ma'am.
In the areas of partnering and offering courses, have you considered doing something that would offer a basic level of medical care or recognition, blood pressure, temperature, being able to give an injection such as for COVID or other, so that it increases capacity, say, of a community health worker out in the community and so forth, or a church who wanted to send people on missions or whatever, so that they would have basic skills?
So we don't have anything like that, but we are launching a community health worker program in the new year. It's almost completed. So I'm hoping that, I'm going to say no later than February, that we'll have that one launched. And with that one, we have to have partnerships, local partnerships, to be able to get people in to do their practicum pieces. I can tell you the College of Medicine is working on a certified medical assistant program right now. I'm not sure if they're going to release that to the public, or if it's going to be more of an internal training pipeline. I'm hoping they'll give it to me to let me take it out into the public and get it out there. Yes, sir.
Yes, Bill Stasewitz. My question, I got a pretty big handful of projects there. How do you measure your success? If you can give me an example of one or two of the programs.
So when you take a look at specifically on the environmental occupation training side of the house, since inception, since 1978, they've trained well over 100,000 people to get out and get their license in the different environmental occupations. We have a nutrition and food service professional training program. It came to us in 1972. It started as a correspondence course and now is fully online. That program generates on average over 400,000 a year. So, I mean, some of the success that you see is from revenue generation. Some of it is when they have to take their national exam. You can see what the national average is and then what our average is for that. I was telling Susan earlier, she's like, somebody said University of Florida has a bail bond program, and she said, no, they don't. Like, yes, we do. So the bail bond program has been around for quite a long time. That one generated well over 6 figures for a long time until some of the legislation changed. And that's really the thing. Everything that we do, everything that we look at leads to a license or certification, because we want the individual who's taking these courses to get something out of it. Basket weaving 101 doesn't get you the job. We want you to come in, take this course, sit for your licensing exam or certification, and either upskill or reskill and go get the job you want. That's what we're looking for. Did that answer your question? If you want to come out to the Trio Center, come on out. I'll give you a tour. Free parking, yeah. And depending on the size, I can host you in the canteen. That seats about 60, so You don't want to, because you have to do a 30-hour course, then a 120-hour course, and then a year-long internship. So that's not necessarily something you want.
Thank you, Andy, for your talk today. Your presentation was certainly informative to me, and I think lots of us. I also want to thank you for the resource that you provide to our community, not only as employers, but as just private citizens. I think we all benefit from a more educated workforce, just bolstering our workforce and, all that you do. To thank you for your talk and to commemorate your time today, we have a coin on the front. It has our Rotary International motto, which is service above self. And on the back is something that speaks to kind of an aspect that separates us as a service organization. And it defines a kind of a ethical code that we try to adhere to in all of our conduct in business and personal relationships. Everything we do, we try to hold it to the 4-way test. So with everything we think, say, or do, we ask, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So again, Andy, I thank you very much. Okay, everybody, just a quick preview. We have another special luncheon coming up next week. It's our E.T. and Van York Service Above Self presentation. So that's going to be a great one. And then after that, just to give you a little bit more down the line, we have our holiday party. So we've got some good stuff coming up. And I hope one more thing real quick. We have another fellowship event. Gordon, I don't know, are we full at your house yet? I think there's still room at the Hubble House for just maybe a few more folks for our holiday and Christmas sing-along. So check that out if you're able to make it. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Pardon me. Thank you. Thank you. One more thing. Thanks, Melanie. Okay, this is for the Rotary Reading Safari 50/50 drawing. Last 3 digits are 057. 057. Have a good week, everybody.